Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on how to cut roots out of a wig. As you can see, I've blocked my wig that I've made onto a malleable block, which is like the material blocks with a cork inside, and then I've got it sat in a cradle. You can do this on a cradle or a clamp. I personally prefer a cradle because I can move it where I want it to go. So, let me give you some reasons why we cut roots out. We cut roots out to give a bit more movement at the root, because when it's knotted and you've got a knot with 3 hairs in, there will be 6 hairs at the root. So when you root in a wig, that's what we're cutting out, so you'll get movement at your root. Another reason for cutting your roots out are if you've got a costume with a high neck on, the costume will rub against your wig and your roots will mat up and become a nightmare at the end of a show, basically. One reason to keep roots in, it's all personal preference really, but a reason to keep roots in is if a wig style involves a lot of back combing. And another reason to keep roots in, probably more with single knots rather than double knots, is that as over time, if your knot slips at all, if you keep your roots in, it's got a bit further to slip. As you'll see, I cut my roots out to about 1 centimetre, so that doesn't give it much room to slip, but I do double knot all my backs, so you don't get much hair loss anyway. So I want to show you a tip that I learnt in New York, because I was taught originally to root, and I'll show you, like this, which I imagine most of you have been taught if you've ever done it. So, sorry, just let me move my... There we go. So, I imagine most of you have been taught to just back comb sorry, I'm just trying to get it at a good angle. There we go. You've probably been taught to just back comb and then try and pull these bits down and trim them out, and as you can see, it's quite messy. So when I went to New York, a man that I worked with changed my life. So, as you can see, I've sectioned it up the back. You see? Sectioned it all the way up the back. I've sectioned the front off. For those that don't know much about wig making, there's a flesh coloured lace, and that is your front here, and then you have a seam, and then you'll go into like a darker lace. Can you see? So I section all around the front, so I'm concentrating on the back to start off with, and then I section this off. So I'm just going to take a little slice. And work my way up the wig. Try and do nice clean sections, because as always, makes your life a bit easier. And then clip the rest away. Okay, so yep, can you see that? So always spray it. And I am then going to take that section and sorry, camera angles are a nightmare trying to do close-up work. Right, okay, so the tip is tail comb, draw it through your hair, Make sure you've got no tangles. Then tip your hair back and tease. Well, it's not, this wig has been knotted beautifully, so there actually isn't that many roots, which comes with practice. When you first start knotting, you'll have quite long roots. So can you see what's in between my fingers? That needs cutting off. So then, can you see how cleaner that is than the first way that I showed you? I've lost my comb now. So you just work your way up the wig. This isn't something that will come straight away. It'll still be a bit fiddly until you get used to it. But I promise you, once you've got the knack of it, it'll be a little life changer for you. So again, always wet your hair, just makes them come down a bit easier. And then brush it through, tip it back. You see them? And again, there's a bit there, you can see. So I'll trim them off. This way you're also less likely to cut out your knots and end up with little ball patches, which I'm sure you will have done. Okay, so look out for more videos from us. We do wig making courses, facial courses, and you will pick up a lot of tips of the trade that you will never come across in the books. So if you have any questions or need some advice, find us on Facebook at Katie's Wigs, and we'll get back to you. Thank you, bye bye.